Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So it's been long time recording and due to my availability. So what are we learning today? So for this session, I have planned as usual 8 items. Introduction to the JavaScript. Many people might be knowing it. And then what is client-side scripting and why do we call JavaScript as a client-side scripting language? Use of the functions, preferably the functions which we use very often, alert, prompt, and confirm, how to use it in the client-side scripting languages called JavaScript. So it is not directly connected to SSJS, but yes, we might have to use it later. Then we need to learn variables concept in JavaScript and how it is different from these compiled languages like C, C++, and others. Then we'll go with data types. It might not be the directly using the word int, float, or character. We'll learn operators, the general operators what we use in JavaScript. And specifically, I'll be going with additional operator today. And then we will learn how to use additional operator, that is the operator plus, to concatenate two strings. That will be a separate video to discuss only related to concatenation. Along with that, we'll be learning the tool, which is a developer tool within the Chrome. So my favorite browser to go with whenever I'm learning JavaScript and its libraries. So let's go one by one. Let me jump into the folder where I'll be starting with a separate folder. So I'll be having a separate folder for JavaScript here. So you might listen some background sounds. So here it starts. So let me go with introduction. Introduction to JavaScript. So many people have a question, which I usually or oftenly I'll be getting this. Do we need to learn Java to learn JavaScript? The answer is no. They are nowhere related directly. JavaScript and Java are nowhere related. How do we run JavaScript? JavaScript is one of the languages which comes from interpreted languages. There is a video related to this interpreted and compiled languages differences. Please do watch in the channel. If not, please let me know. I'll try to record once again. What is the difference between interpreted languages and the compiled languages? The languages which you might encounter as interpreted languages, directly or indirectly, it is HTML and CSS. Obviously, the JavaScript, the language called PHP, the Ruby language. Based on where do they run, we decide whether it is server side or client side. But all of them fall under the category of interpreted languages. JavaScript, PHP, Ruby, Node.js, the language what we are planning to learn, that is SSJS, and the AMScript. All of these languages fall under the interpreted languages category. And if you learn JavaScript, you have to just learn some fundamentals of the other languages and you'll be good to run all those things. What do we need to run this JavaScript? We need a notepad. We need a browser. That's it. What if we don't have internet? No worries, you can learn this. Internet is needed when you want to learn the coding aspects, if you forget something to Google it. But to learn JavaScript, you need a plain text editor and a browser. And based on how do you write it, it is inline, internal, and external. coding. So we'll be going with only JavaScript. I'll be not connecting with HTML or CSS because we are learning JavaScript as a language now. First, learn the language, then try to learn how it can be manipulating HTML or CSS. What is the capability of this and how we should use it in the web development, that will be taken care in the upcoming weeks. For now, it's only JavaScript we will be learning. So you might hear it as plain JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript. It's all referring to the JavaScript. Down the line, you might have to learn OOJS, that is object-oriented JavaScript. So we'll try to discuss about object-oriented concepts, and then we'll try to learn how to implement it in JavaScript. JavaScript is maintained by ECMAScript, ECMA. This is the governing body of JavaScript. So what is the advantage later if you are looking for a Salesforce developer or JavaScript developer 1 certification? Even that might help you people when you start completing these exercises, which is given in this training video. ECMA, ECMAScript 5. So down the line, you might encounter languages like TypeScript, ECMAScript 6 standards, which is helping in LWC, Lightning Web Component. Lightning Web Component is a library being written by Salesforce team for their Sales and Service Cloud Lightning development. So Salesforce is moving from Classic to Lightning. You people have to learn LWC if you want, or if you're planning your career in Salesforce as a developer. Everything is relying on JavaScript. Now let's begin with the fundamentals of this. So the first fundamental is how to write a code, where to write it, and how we should run it. It might be any language. It might be any language. I always suggest people to first always. The first thing what you people have to do is always any language, C, C++, Java, .NET, or it might be C# language, JavaScript. First, know the softwares required, which I've mentioned before. If required, install it. Later, know how to write a program in that language blindly. Then know how to run it or interpret it. Some languages ask you to run it. Some languages ask you to execute it. Or some languages, it will ask you to interpret it. Okay, so that is the first thing what we'll be learning today. So as I mentioned, I'm using Notepad++ as my text editor. And next I'll be running a program. And then I'll be using interpret concept because JavaScript is an interpreted language. We need to interpret it. Interpret means line by line conversion. And execution. Both will be performed. Convert the language into machine learning language or MLL, machine level language, because computer can understand only one language till date, which is zeros and ones. You learn any language, it will be converted into zeros and ones. The process of converting, based on the process of converting, it is categorized as compiled or interpreted language. So what we are learning is interpreted language. So let me open a new tab. And if I want to run a script, I need a script tag. Open. And there is a script tag which will be closed. And when you want to save it and run it, so since we are learning it for the first time, I'll be going with intro-1.html. You can save it in .html file itself and double click and run it in your favorite browser. So what do we learn? So the first thing is you'll be having script. And here you don't need any additional attribute. So this is the script. which is saved in .html extension. So when we make it as external, then we need .js file. So script is the tag. And the first thing what we'll be doing is, let's try to print something in the HTML. So we need document.write function. Write is a function, document is an object. So when we deal with objects concept, I'll try to discuss with this in detail. Script, which is a JavaScript, it is a case sensitive language. It is a case sensitive language. And I'll be writing hello world, which is always my favorite program. So I'll save it. What is next? If you are using Notepad++, you have the opportunity of running it from here using the run and using this Ctrl+Alt+Shift+R as a shortcut, or you can launch it in the Chrome. So you can see this hello world. And why do we call it as client-side scripting? So let's understand that here. So do we need any server for this? No. Do we need any additional software? It's not required. But you should make sure that your browser is up to date by going into help and about Chrome. So you will see that it is up to date. If it is getting updated, you should relaunch it. Second thing, what do people have to know is that you should go to settings, and in settings, your JavaScript is enabled. JavaScript. If you scroll down, you can see this, there is a JavaScript, and this JavaScript should be enabled. Sites can use JavaScript. If you don't do this, how do we get to know whether it is not allowing? There is one more tag. Let me add that, something called no script. No script tag open, no script tag close, and in between this you can specify the message. Kindly enable JavaScript in your browser for better experience. Why do you call it as client side? You'll get to know now. I'll save it. I'll make sure that it is not enabled first. That's more than enough. Click it. I'll come back to this. If I rerun this code, you can see this one, kindly enable JavaScript, and that is because of this no script tag. No script will work only if your browser is not supporting JavaScript. So this is proving that browser is the one which runs your code. How do we get to know? Just give a right click, go to view page source. You can see your entire code here. This is not the way we programmed it. This is not the one which is getting visible, correct? So enable the JavaScript first and make sure that your browser is up to date. It is enabled. Now I'll rerun this. What you see is hello world. Give a right click on the white area and click on view page source. You can see the JavaScript code, document.write. It works only if JavaScript enabled in your browser. What is the next thing I specified? I want to have the browser up to date as a best practice. When you are running HTML5 or CSS3, so it says that it is up to date. Let me click on relaunching it. So first tag is script, and if it is not supported in the browser, you should have this no script tag to send them a message or a pop-up window. This is launched, and it's always a best practice. I'll check it again. It should say that it is up to date. Yes, this is up to date now, and JavaScript is enabled in this browser to run it. Are we good till now? What is next, according to the slide, is what we learned is very basic introduction to JavaScript, how to write it, where to save it, and how to run it. Okay, so what is client-side scripting? Since it is being interpreted line by line in your code. So we need to ensure that it is enabled in your browser. It might be Chrome, Firefox, or it might be Internet Explorer, any browser. JavaScript should be enabled so that it is interpreted. If you're good till now, so there are some functions which can be used. And along with learning that, I'll be showing you how to go to developer tool. So in the same browser, I'll click on three dots on the right top, more tools, developer tools. Control Shift I is the shortcut key. And here we have elements, console, sources, network, performance, memory, application, security, lighthouse, ad blocks, and more. So console is where we people will be testing our coding. So if you want to increase this, control and mouse ball will increase the size. I'll increase the size here. Can I write the JavaScript here? Yes, you can write the JavaScript here. Directly in this console. Now let me go to the tool. So if I want, I can start writing. So what is document? Document is an object. Write is a function. How do we recognize function? It's very simple. If you find round bracket, then it is a function. Or if I say function, you should immediately start typing the round bracket. Alert is a function. Prompt is a function. Case sensitive language, type it in lowercase. Confirm is a function. When I use that word function, you should type round bracket, or when you see round bracket, it's a function. Write is a function. Now, exactly same way, console.log is a function. Log is a function, then anything which comes before the dot will be an object. When we deal with objects in detail, we'll get to know more about it. For now, start learning the terminologies. Console is an object, log is a function. So let's learn one function at a time by typing it and then running it. So there are two ways of doing it. One is type it in the script tag and then execute it. So I'll write a script tag, open, it has to be closed. Like this, within this we'll be having the function alert. Alert can be specified in two ways. One is window.alert or alert. So now you should be in a position to understand, okay, what is window now? Window is an object, alert is the function. Chandra, why did we not write window.alert? It is optional because window is a default object. Window is a default object, whether you mention it or not, that will be the function coming from window. So within this, you can use single quotes or double quotes to specify. So as usual, hello world program. So I'll be making it as alert function 1.html. As I mentioned, I'll be saving everything in HTML now. So if I run this, I should be getting a pop-up window. So I'll save it, run, launch in Chrome. So I get hello world and then hello. So you can see this. This is alert message. You have only one button, which is OK button. Alert gives you only OK button. Can I type it here? Yes, you can. Alert, single quotes or double quotes. If you want to run and test it, you can see this hello world. Even if you want, you can type it as window.alert. So practice all these things once. Hello world 1. Can you see this message? It's a OK button. Now exactly same way you have clear option here by clicking on it. Now I want to see how confirm works. Confirm, alert, and prompt, all the three come with window object. Confirm, are you sure to delete? Spelling is wrong. Now confirm comes with OK and cancel button. If you give OK, it will be true. If you give cancel, it is false. I'll click on OK. You can see this value, true. When it comes with a true value, then you continue with the operation what you want to perform. If it comes with cancel, means it is false. False means they don't want to perform it. So confirm gives you two buttons, OK and cancel. Now it comes with prompt function. Enter the data. Prompt function comes with a text box. Anything which you enter here, anything which has been entered here is treated as a text. Then you should convert it into the relevant data type required. So if I click on this and type the message what I need, I'll type my name. And if I click on OK, that value exactly which has been typed in the text box will be returned. And if I give 1, 2, 3, which is a number for you, but it is treated as text. How can you say that it is a text? It is because of this double quotes. It is treating it as a text. Now you should convert it. Now if I click on cancel, what will be the result? You type something, but you click on cancel, it comes with a null, N-U-L-L. This is an object. Everything is an object in JavaScript. Initially, you might not understand, but as and when we progress, you know it. Null is the value for now. If you click on cancel, it is null. What if I type null itself? That will be treated as a string. Click on OK. Now null is a value typed by the user. Whatever you type is treated as a string. So these are the three functions which will be used. Now I want to give a number. That should be converted into number. After getting converted, I want to check whether it is greater than 0 or not. And based on that, I'll be giving them one more alert. So first prompt to read the input. And then I'll ask them, are you confirmed that you want to check this? And then I'll give a message whether it is a positive or a negative number. Okay. A very simple program to make use of all the three items. Conditional statements, we'll learn it later. So now I'll be having a script. First, I'll take the input. So it will be usage of alert. First, I'll go with prompt. Prompt will take the input. Confirm will tell me whether I want to confirm to process it. And then the message, whether it is a positive, negative, or a number 0. Let us go one by one. Programming is always the same. So first I want a variable. This is where the variable gets introduced. So I'll take the variable x is equal to prompt because it comes with a value. I'm asking them to enter a number. Let me print that alert using the alert function. Directly I'll print that x. Let us run this to no. First, I'll ask them to enter a number 123 and it is getting printed. Okay. This is fine. But what if it is null? If let us run this again. Just reload this browser. So I'll give cancel. So it is coming with null value. After the value has been given, I want to get a confirmation from them. Do you want to process? If they say yes, I need to store that value in y. Based on that, the remaining things happen. If y is equal to true, process was cancelled. If they want to process it, I want to play around with x value. So z is equal to parse int X. Now X is a string. As I mentioned, prompt will get every data in the form of string. Now I want to check whether it is 0, positive. Obviously, if not, it will be negative. If Z, which is converted into number, I'll check with 0. Z is greater than 0, it is positive. So every message will be going with alert. Given number is 0. Very simple mathematics. If else, I'll explain you. Given number is positive, and in this program is concentrating on using all the three what we learned. If else and the operators I'll discuss. So let me rerun this code. I'll be giving my name, and do you want to process it? No. So process was cancelled. Now let me rerun this. I'll give the number 123. So it is a positive number. Do you want to process? Yes. Given number is positive. Rerun this. I'll give 0. Do you want to process? Yes. Okay. Now I want to give a name, and this will be not processed. Do you want to process? Yes. Given number is negative. Actually, it is not. It was not converted. Since it is a string, if you print Z, you'll get to know. So this is the way I want to say alert allowed for process. Alert, I'll print Z directly in that alert. So there is a huge list of alerts since we are learning only JavaScript. So let me type the name. Do you want to process? Yes. Allowed for process, it's a message, and whatever you are getting is NaN, not a number. NaN stands for not a number. So what the input I've given is not a number. When it is NaN, why is that I'm processing it? So that's where understand the functions. Alert will just show you the message with OK button. Prompt will show you a message with a text box with OK and cancel. Cancel will give you null, and anything typed in the text box, it will be treated as text. Then you should convert it using the function %. Now, when I say % as a function, you have to imagine it is coming from window object. Window object is default. JavaScript treats everything as an object. Now observe this. This entire window is an window object. Anything in this white area is a document object. This white area is treated as a document object in JavaScript. And whatever you see in the developer tool, which is console, this guy, this area is treated as an object of console. There are three objects: window object, document object. Document means the area where you display some information for your client or your customers. And this is the developer's favorite to type and learn whatever they want to. Testing, all these things will be done in console. We have many other items like elements, console tab, sources tab, networks tab to know what is the request and how it is working, performance, memory, application, security, and many more. Okay, we are dealing with console object now. What is console? Console is a developer's favorite tool. How to reach there? F12 in the keyboard. Control-Shift-I. If you want to go with shortcut, Control-Shift-I, F12, which is a functional key, or you can click on these three dots. So only recommendation is please do watch this video and follow the exact steps and get the result what I'm showing. So we got introduced to JavaScript. We now have a fair enough idea why do we call it as client side, because browser should allow it to run. If not, it won't run. We have learned two tags: script tag, where you write the actual code, no script to display when there is no JavaScript. enabled or supported. And with that, we learned three functions. So directly, I did not introduce you people to variables, but I used it based on the values which are getting returned. Alert, prompt, confirm are the functions coming from an object called window. Good with this? So operators will be a separate video to discuss about which will be used in the others. Any language. Most of the languages which uses operators is all supported in JavaScript. So two videos. So developer tool, as I mentioned. So what did I cover? Let me have an highlighting point here. I just introduced you people to JavaScript. Now we have fair enough idea on client-side scripting. We learned about three functions called alert, prompt, and confirm. And with that, I introduced you people to open or close the developer tools, and you can type the program even there, but it will be one-line coding. So the next video will be dealing with more on this one, variables and data types in JavaScript, along with the introduction to operators. The remaining two will be in the third video. Hope everyone is good here. So once it is uploaded, please do watch and practice it. Thank you for watching this video. So it's day 3, video 1. We'll be having 2 more videos to discuss the topics mentioned in this. Thank you very much for watching this video.